So which pair is right for you, the Nike Blazers or the Converse high tops? Both are excellent casual sneakers. Well, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the pros and cons of both to help you make a better buying decision. How's it going, everybody? George here from JP Lifestyle, and on this channel I help young men build their confidence and overcome insecurities by teaching them how to dress better, how to look better, and ultimately how to be better. And in this video we're going to be comparing the Nike Blazers to Converse high tops in terms of their fit, their style, and their price to help you make a better buying decision when choosing between these two sneakers. Now, disclaimer, I am not a sneakerhead nor a sneaker expert. This is just my experience from having both pairs for a few months. With all that being said, let's jump into it. So starting off with the fit, the Nike Blazers do tend to run a lot more snug around the midfoot and as well as through the toe. So if you're somebody who has a bit wider feet, this may not be the most comfortable pair for you to pick out. Another thing I noticed, especially with the Nike Blazers, is that the insole is quite stiff. So if you're walking in them for long periods of time, I would say anything more than 2 to 3 hours, it can be quite irritating and not really for somebody who wants to walk all day in these shoes. And like any high top sneaker, this goes for the Converse ones as well. They are a pain in the ass to put on and take off. A great aspect of the fit is that they're quite easy to break in. They may feel super stiff and kind of tight the first few times you wear them. That tends to happen with any leather sneaker that you wear, but what I like is after about 2 to 3 wears for a couple hours at a time, they do break in quite nicely. And one thing I recommend you guys do with any high top sneaker that you get is to relace them yourself. If you get them straight out of the box, or if you got it at a Foot Locker and Champs and they lace it super tight. I recommend lacing especially the Blazers as loose as possible since they already run snug. I have actually never had to tie them, and I feel like this is a much better way to wear them. When it comes to the Converse high top, the quilted pair of Converse high tops that I have do run a bit more loose throughout the midfoot and toe. So if you have wider or flat feet, this may be a bit better option for you. The insole is quite soft. You don't have a lot of the stiffness in there, and these also too are quite easy to break in. With this pair especially, I didn't notice any discomfort walking for them for more than 2 hours at a time, but depending on the pair of Converse that you get, the comfort of the insole and breaking it in may vary. If you go with a full leather pair with a harder insole, it's obviously going to take a lot longer. If you go with something like the canvas Converse high tops, it may be a little bit longer of a process to break them in. They may not be as comfortable. I found that these quilted high top ones are a best of both worlds when it comes to comfort and as well breaking them in. One of the biggest drawbacks is this extra fabric around the ankle and Achilles. I am not a fan of this whatsoever, especially if you like to wear your sneakers loose. This just adds that extra layer of stiffness along the back, which I think really does a disservice to it, because all it's really going to do, especially if you're wearing them loose or with low cut socks, is that they're going to cut up your Achilles and ankle. And I've had this issue before with my pair of Doc Martens, which this has been the stiffest part of the boot and the hardest to break in. If you like wearing your sneakers laced up and with long socks and not super loose, it shouldn't be a problem, but I know for me personally, it is a kind of a deal breaker at times. When it comes to the style and options available, there are a lot more Converse high top options than there are Nike Blazers, but the options that they have for Nike Blazers do maximize the amount of versatility that you're going to get out of a pair that you pick when it comes to pairing it with outfits and pieces of your wardrobe. They're either primarily a black or white colorway that they go with it, or this white with orange swoosh I think is a great alternative to a lot of the plain all white sneakers or black and white sneakers. This really adds a little bit more zest, no pun intended there, to some of your outfits by keeping the all white sneakers. They're nicely coordinated and having this little pop of color there. I think it's an excellent choice and very underrated because you don't see a lot of people wearing the orange swoosh ones. I know I personally haven't. One aspect of the shoe that really grew on me was the gray nubuck. I thought when I first saw them that this completely threw off the entire shoe, but it really doesn't. I like the little bit of accent it adds to the design. It gives it a a nice vintage look, as well as that change in texture just makes the shoe feel a little bit more different. But then again, with that different fabric there's obviously going to be different care needed to maintain it and keep it looking pristine. Now, one aspect of the sneaker I am not the biggest fan of is the exposed foam on the tongue. I understand where they're coming from a design point of view, that they wanted to make it look as vintage as possible, but still kind of reimagined. I'm not the big fan of it. I think if it was completely closed off, it would look a lot better, but there are a lot of people who do love it, and I don't think it's that much of a deal breaker, because you're really only gonna see it when you put it on. If somebody's like checking out your sneaker game or your fit, they don't really notice it that much. It's not a deal breaker in my opinion. Now, when it comes to the style of Converse high top, there are tons of options when it comes to picking out a style that is right for you. It could be something as simple as the canvas high top Chuck Taylor 77s. It could be something leather. It could be something like the quilted Converse high tops that I picked up at ASOS. Unfortunately, at the time of recording this video, they're not in stock, but I'm gonna do my best to find a close alternative to them. One of the things that I'm a big fan of the quilted high top Converse is, not a lot of people have them, so I feel kind of special wearing them, is that it adds a great texture to the sneaker, which you really don't see in terms of patterns unless you go up to designer brands. You see something like that's complete monogrammed. I think this is a nice balance to it without it being super annoying or obnoxious. The glossy off-white rubber on the toe is a nice touch. It keeps a nice neutral color palette going, but without having it being plain white, having it a little bit of this off-white tone really does bring the sneaker in it together. Before we get into the price, if you guys are getting value and finding this video helpful, please drop me a like. And if you're looking for more content that teaches you how to dress better, how to look better, and ultimately how to be better, and how to shop smarter for clothes and sneakers, do hit that subscribe button for weekly videos. Let's move on to the price. When it comes down to the price, Nike Blazers are running for $135 on average, while Converse high tops are going to be anywhere between $65 to $110 depending on the style and material you go with. Which brings me to the important question: which sneaker are you going to go with if you're looking to buy it? Let me know in the comments down below. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which one you purchase, because Nike owns Converse, so whichever one you buy, Nike gets your money. There you guys have it. That is my comparison between Nike Blazers and Converse high tops from my experience and my opinion. If you guys are looking for more sneaker content on how to style similar looking sneakers, or how to add more stuff to your wardrobe to get the most amount of versatility out of it, I'll leave a couple of videos up on screen right now. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys made it this far into the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you watched this far, you're way more interested in dressing better, looking better, and ultimately being better. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to check out some of my other videos on screen right now. Peace.